Hello, family and friends. It's 4:30 on a Sunday. You've made it through this part of your day, and you've made it to this part of your life. Outside the window, it's sunny but chilly. Well, it's overcast now and chilly, but it's a bright day. And my hands are a little chilly. Stepping into today on Soulful Sunday. What are we getting into? So let me hit the light here just so you can get a little bit more of my face on the Instagram and the YouTube and the Facebook and wherever else I am. Soulful Sunday. Practices and ways and resources to bring us into a healthy tomorrow by creating a healthy today. Hopefully you can hear me. For some reason, I just had a piece of vegan cheese and it's making my mouth all grumbly or my throat all grumbly. And I don't have anything to drink right here. So hopefully my voice is carrying enough. I got a teenager sleeping over there or not sleeping as I talk. Uh, in this space that we're in, I call it space because it's a different use of our time, and we find ourselves traveling in different orbits in the world that we live in. And orbits by, we home is that home base, and we sling out to go to work, we sling out to go to the store, we do these different things where we orbit back around and satellites of our home, and we find many of us are finding that we're in different orbits now. They don't follow the same schedule as the set schedule of our weekly 9 to 5 or whatever your shift is. And it often feels confusing. Maybe it definitely feels different. And for some people, it might be frustrating because they do like the structure that they had and they're not comfortable yet with the structure that's existing. And in this space, I've spoken about it many times. This is the space of creativity. And not every one of us that's here is a creative, which means that you're not in the business of art or the performing arts or in a way of seeing yourself as a creative producer. But we all are creative. We all come up with ways. If you cook, you're creative. If you can follow a recipe, you're creative. There's some people who can't even follow recipes. If you can fix the things around the house, if you can troubleshoot, you're creative. You have a way of visioning through or working through or using the tools that you have to create a different scenario from the scenario you have. And sometimes that is taking the leaky faucet and finding the solution. Sometimes the solution is change the screen, sometimes change the the filter, sometimes change the module in the knob. Sometimes it's call the plumber. The solution is not always going to be the same, and it depends on where your resources lie. And this space that we have now, we are all trying to figure out how to shift, not necessarily change or fix, but how to shift out of where we are into a healthier new where we want to go to. We all have a destination, hopefully. And some of us just want to go back to work, want to go back to a schedule. Some of us, myself, I want to find a new way. I want to find a new way to bring my work, my art, my conjurings, my creativity to the world. One way I found is social media. I didn't think this was an outlet, but necessity predicated my finding Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, podcasting, and many other outlets that I had not even fully considered or didn't even know how to step into that. But also the space that we have allowed me to do more research into those possibilities, to do more study and ask more questions and reach out and connect with more people on how to step into a new way of doing what I do. I had a great walk with a friend of mine today, and because there's a lot of things spinning with right now. I had a great walk with a friend. We walked through the woods, kept our distance. We're both huggers, so it was really hard. We just wanted to, but we didn't. And at one point the conversation turned to, I had just done an interview with Jonathan Lee Iverson, and I had interviewed him a week before. And if you look at my resume, it covers a lot of different things. And I've often got the question, what do you do? I do everything. I do what is necessary. That's my answer, but that's not a job title. And at one point, one of my writing coaches, one of my writing mentors said to me, "You're a thought leader." Well, one can't just say, "I'm a thought leader." I'm stepping out in thought. That's not a role. It's not a position. One doesn't call themselves a thought leader. And then what I do is philosophy. If you worked with me as an acrobat, I philosophize, which is how I got the name, where the name philosophy came from. I was a philosopher. I philosophized. My brain has always been in process. Early on, it was in process because I didn't understand. A lot of things didn't make sense to me. My vision didn't work correctly. When I heard things, they didn't make sense. I didn't know the words. And yes, I'm an native English speaker, and I grew up in America, but I didn't always understand the words. And I also didn't, because for some reason, what I was getting was I would understand people's emotions and not their words, because not always do the emotions and the words meet up. So, in this space of new creativity, in the space of me stepping into the philosophy role, the philosopher role, the thought leader position, how can I help you craft your thought into conjuring a different way, a healthy, different way? And what I ask you to do right now, first of all, take your hands and rub them together. Just rub them together. So rub them around like you're washing them first, like you're just washing the outsides of them. Take the time and you can just, wherever you are, just rub them together. And what you're going to start to feel is the connection of your hands. You're going to feel them sliding in and out of each other, on top of each other. You're going to feel where the motion is, what feels more comfortable, and there's going to be a pathway that feels sweeter than the other. One hand might be more passive than the other. Just keep doing that for just a moment. Okay, what you're doing is you're taking your focus and you're allowing your focus to become not just on your hand and your fingers, but each part of your hand. There are parts of your palms that are sensitized more than they normally are. So now we're going to shake it up. You're going to try and keep your palm sides facing each other as much as possible. And now we're going to roll up a little ball of energy. You've already got the energy started. You already got the focus started. Just rolling up a little ball of energy. And as that ball gets bigger, let your hands come apart more. And this is a practice you can do. It's energy work. It's Reiki. You can do this practice. And what you want to work on doing is getting that ball as big as you can, where you can still feel the engagement between your hands, even though there's space there. Because what you're doing is casting energy out of your hands towards the other, and where they meet and are powerful, that's where you are. So there are some people who can get this ball huge. So I still have a nice sized ball here. And then just stay with that for a moment. Let it be. Let that energy be. And if you don't feel it, that's okay. Keep it small and keep the connection as you feel it, and let it just grow naturally. So I really feel a pulsing in my hands as I do this. The really cool thing about this is, if you feel it, is it happening? Because you can't see it. And yet there it is, this ball of energy, this pulsing that's there. And I can actually, it's like a snowball. And mine is starting to diminish because I'm trying to focus on a couple different things. It's not a practice I've been doing for a while. But this thing here, just as you manifested that ball of energy, which you just allowed yourself to pour energy out of your hands, which is already there, you're not wasting it. It's actually going right back. It's creating a circuit. Just as you allowed yourself to create this ball of energy, you are going to give yourself permission to create that healthy, wonderful that you want in the world. And so with that, you've created this ball. Just absorb it back into yourself. Just press it right back in. And you can, if you want to, you can smooth it down your arms. You can smooth it all over. You can wear it on your face like a mask. Hopefully you've washed your hands, sanitized them so you're not rubbing anything else into your body. With that energy all throughout, I would like you to take a moment and place in your mind's eye, just place something wonderful that you want to bring into the world. Don't give it a timeline. Don't give it a limitation. Just place in your mind's eye something wonderful that you want to bring into the world. Go ahead, project into it. See it. See it actually coming out. Almost, for me right now, it's a movie screen. And I'm watching inside, but yet projected outside. That which I want in the world. That healthy, wonderful, not only for me, but for the world as well. Something that is going to be life-changing, that is going to be life-altering and kind and necessary and healthy. Hey, while you're thinking of that thing, while you're projecting that in your mind's eye, take a moment. What is blocking? What is between you and that thing that you want to create, that thing you want to bring into the world? What is the biggest obstacle? And are there any small obstacles if there isn't a big obstacle? Now, take that obstacle and allow yourself to go over it or under it or around it or create something else that maybe ramps you over it, that gets you to bypasses that obstacle. Now, that doesn't mean that that is a thing that will exist. I mean, this is your mind's eye. So you can create a rocket booster. You can, a jetpack, whatever it takes to get you past that obstacle to the space that you need to go. Now, what you've just done is you've projected your image of a future that you want. By adding that obstacle, that hypothetical, theoretical obstacle, you know that in order to get to that, there may be some things that you will have to surpass. It's not just a gimme. It's not just a grab. That's what everything that we conjure. One of the things I have said over and over again, there is no art without struggle. Now, some artists find it very easy, and sometimes that struggle is only the picking up of the pen to write the words, the putting your fingers on the keyboard, opening the keyboard. For some people, it's buying the keyboard. There's always a little bit of struggle. Even just this, there is struggle here. I had to get all this stuff together. I had to come up with this space before I could do this. Now, I just hit a couple buttons and it goes up and it happens. The struggle doesn't seem like much of a struggle anymore, but there is no art without struggle. And when you understand that, you then decide how much of a risk are you willing to take to create that art? Are you willing to bypass? Are you willing to overcome? Are you willing to diminish the struggle, push down, flow past, push aside? Are you willing to do the work, the struggle, to create the art, to create the image, to conjure into life that miracle that you need in your life, that miracle that we need in our lives, because it's necessary for you to create that for us. And it's really important to understand there's a little bit more that goes into just, I want this to be. You have to see it, and you have to keep seeing it. And there's many people who say, well, don't share your ideas because somebody will steal them. And a few friends of mine have talked to this, a couple of mentors and I have talked about this. And the premise is that all ideas, every single idea that ever is, ever was, ever will be, exists. They're floating in a layer, just there, like clouds above us. And at any given time, we can reach up and pull down an idea. At the same time, anyone else, anywhere else, can also reach up and pull down that same exact idea. But when we incorporate that idea into ourselves, we change it, we alter it, we speak of the idea with a different dialect, and therefore it makes it unique. It may sound similar coming from someone else. It may look similar coming from someone else. And there's a resonance that happens. And when you pull down a fantastic idea, I guarantee you there are many others who pull down that same idea because it's now resonating differently in the world because you've pulled it down. Okay, so Super Soul Sunday. Boom, your vision, the obstacles that you can overcome. There is no art without struggle. What else did I go get into here? So those are the things. And I'm going to pass on. And who are you? That was the other one. Who are you? Doesn't matter. And yet it does. What you do is possible because of who you are. And who you are is not simply the plumber, the teacher, the lawyer, the doctor. You are those things because of who you are. You push through to go to law school. You push through to go to medical school. You push through to get to, as a tradesman, to become a plumber, an electrician, a veterinarian, an auto mechanic. You push through. You made that happen. You became the performer. You became the painter. You became the singer, the dancer, the clerk, the accountant, the receptionist, the paraeducator. You did that. You. And because of who you are, you can put on that title: philosopher, thought leader. Today's poem is from Sacred and Sacrosanct. I stand at the bank of the river of creativity. Where once there was a torrent, now there is nothing. Where once I bathed luxuriously, I now long to slake my thirst. Why am I here? Am I to despair over loss? There is meaning in the absence of what I long for. As I reveled in the roar, the flow, should I do the same in the quiet? I long for the comfort of the cascades that I have known. I puzzle over a solution, and in doing so, realize that I too am a piece to this puzzle. That was Wade In from Sacred and Sacrosanct. Call to arms right there. It's time to wade in. It's time to dream in. It's time to overcome the obstacles. It's time to live up to the struggles. It's time. And you know you can do it. You came up with the idea. You came up with the impulse to do it. You came up with the impulse to move. You know you can do it. Will it be easy? For some, it might be. For some, it may not. And when you get done it, when you have accomplished it, it may feel like it was easy, even though it was a struggle. It's worth it. You're worth it. And so I'm not sure how many folks are here. I had to upload a different browser in order to run today. And I'm not getting any comments. So hopefully this touched you where you needed it. And hopefully your Sunday is soulful. And I hope that your souls are filling. I know that it's easy for them to drain in this time as we go through things, and we're going through it. We're getting through it. We're surviving. So please, stay safe, be well, stay sane. Move forward with passion and purpose, and remember that you are enough. Have a great day.